Hello, all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here, and today we're going to be explaining the most efficient legendary commanders in the game. Point of the video is to give you an idea of when a legendary commander becomes viable in the open field or wherever you're using him or her for PvP. Okay, so this is not PvE related, this is not epics, this is strictly legendaries. But this is up to date, all the way up to date through June 2021. Okay, so for the first skill, I'm going to uncover and then explain. So first skill here, we've got Guan, Mulan, and Trajan. Now, for Guan, 5-1-1-1 is perfectly fine. You have a nice AoE. You've got a nice AoE silence, which is really good. And then 1-1-1 on all the other ones. You're getting a little bit of a taste of all the other skills. One of them is a conquering skill that you absolutely don't need to max unless you're rallying with him. The other two are nice, and really his fourth skill should be maxed as well, but it's just, you know, icing on the cake. It's cherry on top, you know what I mean? 5-1-1-1 perfectly fine. Mulan and Trajan, I put them here as well just because their first skills buff-wise are so good. They're just so good. Mulan's first skill, that 15% to attack, defense, and health, so very good. Trajan with his 25% skill damage bonus at his first skill as well. Very, very nice to have on the open field. Of course, Trajan's one of those commanders that I do recommend you actually max out, but he's serviceable on the field at 5-1-1-1 just because of that first skill. Now, also his third skill is so good too. And this is the third skill for Trajan is one you want to max as well eventually. Is the reason being you increase the damage dealt to the target by 20% as well. So I wanted to kind of caveat that, but Trajan is usable at 5-1-1. 5-1-1-1. Yes. So two skills. So again, I'm going to go through each commander here and I'm going to showcase what the maxing order is. And again, you want to use your skill resets to try and get these commanders to these particular combinations, or if it's 5-5-1-1, then just use your skill lock system and then make sure those first two skills get all of your sculptures. So first one, YSG, is 5-5-1-1. You want to have that second skill. It's a rage generation boost and also a damage boost. You want that on your YSG. Now his fourth skill is a skill damage skill. It's very nice, and you should definitely use that skill reset button if you have 3 skills into YSG to get 5-5-1-5. Ultimately though, I think YSG, and this has always been my recommendation, max YSG, that circular AoE is absolutely sick. It does a ton of damage. You should definitely be using that on the battlefield. But if you can't max them yet, 5-5-1-1 is perfectly fine. Same thing with Constantine. Same thing with Charles. Charles is also a good 5-5-1-1 player. His shield is amazing. His second skill gives you those stats. It's very, very nice. And then the other two, one's a garrison and one is a counterattack damage bonus, which is nice to have. Don't get me wrong. But again, is it worth another 480 sculptures or something to get that extra 20% counterattack? I don't know. If you have the sculptures, go for it. Or if you have the dailies or the gold keys, go for it. But 5-5-1-5 would be the way to go until you max him. But 5-5-1-1 is the minimum I would put him on the field with. Alex, same thing, 5-5-1-1. I like his shield as well, of course, with the debuff that comes with it. You also have the second skill providing some skill damage, which infantry sorely need, especially before you start to get into the Guan and Leos and Heralds and things like that. Alex definitely needed that extra stuff. I do like his third and fourth skill as well, and Alex is one of those top 5 commanders that I would recommend maxing, but he is usable at 5-5-1-1. Leo, 5-5-1-1. I would leave Leo at 5-5-1-1 unless you have a maxed Guan with maximum gear, coin, etc. Then you might consider going ahead and maxing Leo. I've used him maxed on my main in 307. He works really well, but very situational, very niche. He's not universal. He's not one of those commanders that you can kind of throw around with different pairings. So 5-5-1-1 is perfectly fine. You get the majority of his use out of that. Constantine, 5-5-1-5 as well. And again, great debuff, great buff, great health bonus. And that that fourth skill that gives you that massive heal is really high, even at level 1. Of course, level 4 would be, or level 5 would be better. But again, we're going for efficiency, right? 5511, serviceable in canyon, serviceable in the field, especially if you want to throw out a buffing pair, like, I don't know, Constantine Mulan, like we just said over here. That's 3 skills worth of 2 legendary commanders, and you've got yourself a nice little buff debuff march. Not too bad. Richard, 5511, again, 5511. And reason being, again, you've got Richard, you've got the damage reduction that the second skill provides. Of course, Richard's first skill, the heal, is huge. You also have a little bit of a damage debuff on top of that as well. So just a good all-around heal, tanky, just good stuff with Richard. And that can be used for all sorts of different things on the open field and things like that. And then finally, Tamira. So Tamira really ultimately should be a 3-skill commander at least. But you can get away with, and this is going to be a little tricky, you're going to probably have to use all of your skill resets to do this, okay? But you need to go 5-1-1-5. 5-1-1-5. Reason being, again, one you have is more of a conquering thing, and then the other one is a nice attack bonus, but not really necessary. But the first and the fourth skills for Tamira are 100% required. You've got to have them in order for Tamira to be any kind of viable on the field. And again, 5-1-1-5 is super difficult to do, and you're probably going to have to burn quite a few of your skill resets to actually accomplish this, but worth it in the end if you can get that. She becomes almost a endgame top tier commander at just 5-1-1-5, so that's a good one to go after. Now, let's go after the 3 skill ones. These are a little more in depth, and I want to say also a little bit more effective than everything else that we've talked about. 1 and 2 skills, you can get away with this stuff, especially if you have good gear, good tech, all that good stuff. But 3 skills, you can really start to shine on the battlefield with these. And at the same time, again, like almost the same as maxed. Some of these you kind of want to max a little bit, but depending on your role, we talk about role a lot on this channel. Depending on your role, you're going to want to max some of these. But if it's just for open field, you can get away with 3 skills on all of these commanders. So first off, we have Saladin. I think this is a pretty commonly known commander that you can get to 5-5-5-1 and be pretty much 95% effective, because his last skill has everything to do with a damage bonus to conquering and your inability to plunder a city that goes along with it. His expertise does buff all of the other stuff that's really good for Saladin. So again, eventually expertise this guy, he's worth it. You're going to use Saladin forever. But again, usable on the field at 5-5-5-1 and perfectly fine in that situation. I put Herald on here, and Herald is a thing. I like Herald. He does some good things. I want to say that Herald is one of the better legendary infantry commanders in the game, at least right now. Hopefully some newer ones come out that are really, really, really nice. But he's got some kind of holdbacks. Right now, you want to get him to 5-1-5-5. The second skill is a conquering skill, so you don't necessarily need that if you're not rallying. If you're rallying, you're going to want to max him. If you're going to be rallying with, say, a Guan Herald or an Alex Herald or a Leo Herald, you want to go ahead and max Herald. But if not, if it's just for open field, 5-1-5-5 is perfectly fine. It gives him all the benefits of the skill damage that he pumps out. It gives you those defense reductions, removals that he does on his 4th skill. So very important to get that as soon as possible for him as well. And again, probably will take a couple skill resets to accomplish. Obviously, Saladin being 5-5-5-1, you don't have to worry about it because you can just use the skill lock system to go all the way through. Let's talk about Zhongyu. Zhongyu, one of the newer Cav commanders in the game and one of the best Cav commanders in the game, if not the best. You want to go at least, let's see, his conquering skill is the 3rd one. So you'll see a trend on these 5-5-5-1 or 3 skill commanders. You can skip the conquering or the garrison skill on that commander and basically be just as effective in the open field as somebody who was maxed. The only thing you're losing is the expertise, which could be, like in Zhongyu's case, really, really nice. You have the potential for up to 20% skill damage bonus, which is absolutely incredible. But again, one requires a rage bonus to happen over the course of seconds, and then the other one is just a flat 10%. So if you can max him regardless of roll. But for usability in the open field, 5-5-1-5 is definitely doable and will be fairly easy to do with some skill reset tokens. At least, you know, you won't necessarily have to start all over from scratch if you get one that's early on. That being said, Zhongyu, one of the better commanders in the game as well. Put him up alongside of Saladin all day, and he will perform beautifully. I did throw YSS in here because as good as he is in the garrison, he actually is pretty damn good on the open field as a secondary commander. His first skill is a ton of single target direct damage factor. I think it is his fourth skill. Yep. His fourth skill is the garrison specific skill. The first three skills, so 5-5-5-1 is what you want to do YSS for. His first three skills are universal on the open field. So they have garrison components to them, but you don't have to be in garrison to get those skills. First, second, and third skill. Fourth skill, you got to be in the garrison of a city or a stronghold. You got it. That's just a requirement. So the fourth skill is basically worthless for the open field PvP section. Now, again, his expertise is nice, gives some extra stats, but it's not like mission critical. I'd say 85% complete YSS open field at 5-5-5-1. Again, if you're going to be a garrison commander, max YSS. There's no reason not to do that. Okay, so let's talk Nebu. Nebu is, again, one of the best archer commanders in the game right now. One of the later pairs that have just come out, and mainly known for rallying. Of course, always good in arc, always good in open field, all that good stuff. But you can use him in a 3-skill situation for the open field. His third skill is his conquering skill. So you need to go 5-5-1-5 for Nebu. Just making sure over here on the right side that I'm telling you the right skill. So 5-5-1-5 is what you can put Nebu at, Nebuchadnezzar, and he will perform very beautifully on the open field. And again, his expertise is really nice. Don't get me wrong. It adds damage to everything. You're talking about adding an additional 500 damage factor to your current target every single time you cast a skill. That basically is a 25% damage bonus increase, or 33%, excuse me, damage bonus increase. So it's not a bad thing to have at all, to have that expertise done. And if you're rallying with Nebuchadnezzar, you gotta have him maxed. It's just must have. But if open field, you can get away with the 5-5-1-5. Let's talk some earlier game commanders and go to Double C. So Double C, I've got him in here. He's an early game commander that you can get from the daily chests and gold key commander. And with the exception of his barbarian skill, everything else is fighting based. And honestly, his expertise is nice. You got a 25% attack increase, but you actually nerf yourself by 10% on defense, which is not always the best idea. So 5-1-5-5 is the way to go for Double C. Chow chow. So that's the way to do Double C. 5-1-5-5. Again, nothing special about him. He doesn't have a whole lot going on. He does have some decent damage. His first skill is an attack reduction debuff of 40%, which is pretty huge, guys. Let's not skirt around it. 40% is pretty damn big of an attack reduction to have in your portfolio on the open field. Constantine also has something similar to that. So you want to, depending on if you're a cav or infantry guy or gal, you want to go ahead and have that be the case. Let's get to our third female on the chart here, and that is Artemisia. Artemisia has gone through an evolution. In my eyes, anyway. In my eyes. She, at first, I was like, why would you want to get a commander that hurts herself? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's evolved to the point in my mind where it's worth it. Like, it's just worth it to get that little bit of extra damage coming your way with the amount of damage that you're pumping out. With the amount of damage that you're pumping out. And if you're not using her in a garrison situation, you can actually get away with doing 5-5-1-5. So third skill is a garrison only skill. And I will actually be doing this on my main account. 5-5-1-5. And the idea behind it is you're not using your garrison skill for the third skill, and her expertise is in normal attacks have a 10% chance to deal additional damage per second, 400, and cause the target to deal extra 15% skill damage to you for 3 seconds. So you're losing 1200 damage factor, which is a thing, guys. That's a lot of damage, okay? That's a lot of damage. But you're also nullifying the possibility of your target doing 15% extra damage to you if that were to take place. So it's kind of a trade-off. I eventually will max her. She should be maxed, especially if you're using her as a garrison. You have to max her. But if you're not using her as a garrison commander, you can definitely use her open field 5.5/1.5 and be 80-85% effective, I think. Perfectly fine. And her primary skill is absolutely devastating, guys. The amount of damage that she pumps out is incredible. So definitely worth it with the 3-skill combo there. And finally, we have William. I don't even need to look at this one. 5.5/5.1. Very, very nice to have in the open field. And you get, I'd say, 90-95% effectiveness from William as a 5.5/5.1 commander. The defense buff that you get on the 4th skill, it's a very low scaling. It goes from 10% to 20%. So it's not very much. 10% defense is nice, don't get me wrong, especially when it's not just you, but it's allies that you're buffing. But at the same time, it's very small in the grand scheme of things. So 5.5/5.1, perfectly usable on my alt account in 307. I have my 5.5/5.1 Saladin with my 5.5/5.1 William, and we go 5.5/5.1 all over everybody's face, and everything works great. I mean, we just kill stuff. So it works out perfectly fine. Again, a lot of this has to do with how good is your tech? How good is your equipment? How good do you know how to fight? Do you understand how to micro your marches on the field and not just go attack all and try and sweep everything off the map? That's just not how it works. So this is the breakdown for me. Now, if the commander is not on this list, if there's a legendary commander not on this list, the most likely reason is because you have to max them. Okay, you just gotta. Ramses is a perfect example. You just gotta max him. He's got so many good skills. Sure, you can put him at 5.1/1.1, but he's like 30% effective. You need to max the guy. His expertise is amazing. You have to max him. His defense debuffs are amazing. You have to max him. His defense buffs are amazing. You have to max him. Okay. Now, there are other commanders that are not on here, like some of the gathering commanders for legendaries, or commanders like El Cid, where nothing special. And there wasn't really anything jumping out at me that was like, okay, you got to get this skill versus this skill. His first skill, you could use him at 5.1/1.1 if you wanted to, and you could probably throw him in the first column there. But his second skill is a % chance for damage. His third skill is a movement speed and attack buff. And fourth skill is some heal. And, just it's basic. It's very small. And all the stuff that he does is just small. Like the damage is small. The heal is small. It's just bad. Like I think the third skill is the heal. But anyway, like nothing in there is that great. El Cid's always been universally known to be kind of one of the most underwhelming legendary PvP commanders in the game. And he has not risen from that title. The only good thing he's got is that silence on his first skill. Other than that, not that great. But that's what I'm saying. If it's not on this list, it's probably because it needs to be maxed or because it needs to be forgotten about and needs to go away from a PvP perspective. So I hope you guys have been helped by this video. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one and take care.